Hi, welcome to this recording of the paper game. If you couldn't join us in class, then this recording will help you learn what to do and what the paper game is about. And at the end of watching this paper game, you can watch the paper game, and then you will write or draw a business process diagram, and you need to submit that in the submission folder. And then you can also participate in the discussion to discuss the learning outcomes of this activity. So I'll introduce to you what the paper game is. So this is a game that was developed by a professor that uses SAP in the classroom, and he thought this was a good introductory activity to understand how important ERP systems are. So this game involves your company, which your company buys raw material, which is our sheets of paper, cuts them up into 6 smaller pieces. So we manage this manufacturing company that purchases the sheets and resells the squares of paper. So, sorry, I'm just trying to get the speaker view correct. So outlining what's happening, you must buy the paper from a supplier, receive the paper, cut it into 6 pieces, and resell the pieces of paper to the customer. So you then also, on top of preparing or manufacturing your goods, you also must pay your supplier and collect client payments. What you need to come up with is a record-keeping mechanism. So you're allowed 2 pieces of paper, and on those pieces of paper, you're to keep track of everything that's going on. And at any point in the game, you should be able to provide what your current profit is, your accounts payable, so what you owe to your suppliers, accounts receivable, so what your customers owe you, and how much inventory do you have on hand. So at the beginning of the game, you start off with $10. We have $10 listed on the sticky note, and 1 raw sheet of material. So this is our 8.5 by 11 that will be cut up into 6 pieces of paper. So in the normal play in class, if we were face-to-face, I would have the students divided up into teams, and I would give you 10 minutes to organize your operations. So how you're going to make things, how you're going to collect payments, deliver material, collect material. And so you would come up with all the processes you're going to do. However, I'm going to do that for you. So you will watch me do it, so you don't have to organize yourself. And we are going to play 10 rounds of this, 10 rounds of buying and selling and record keeping. About halfway through, I'm going to stop or ask you to pause. And I want you to reorganize yourselves. Maybe you need to reorganize your record keeping system so you can better understand how much profit you're making, how much you owe your suppliers, how much your customers owe you, and how much inventory you have on hand. So how we play. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to roll 2 dice. And the 2 dice that we roll, that will be the customer's market price. So what they'll pay to us. So if I rolled this one, this is 8. So for every smaller piece of paper, they'll pay $8. Then we decide how much we're going to deliver. So how many pieces of the small square we're going to deliver, and we will deliver them. And we get paid by the customer 2 times later. So if we're owed any payments from the customers, we take them now, but obviously it will be at least 2 more times before we collect payment. After that has happened, I will roll 1 dice, and that's how much we pay the supplier for the raw material. So in this case, I rolled a 6. So we pay $6 for the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So then we decide how much pieces of paper we're going to buy. You can only buy 2 sheets each round. And you can't collect them until the next round, and you pay for them in the next round. Okay, so that's how each round will happen. And again, at any point in time, you have to be able to let me know how much money you're making, how much you owe, how much is owed to you, and how much inventory you have on hand. So we're going to keep track of this using sticky notes. So the first thing we're going to do, as you said, I'll roll the dice, and that's how much the customer will pay to us, and we'll decide how much we're going to sell. We're going to note this on a bright blue Post-it. So if we decide we're going to sell 6 pieces of the smaller squares, we're going to write 6, and I will post it on the customer sheet in T1. So our first round is T1. So that's how much we're selling. And we call this, right, this is a sales order. So our customer is ordering 6 pieces from us. And we're able to sell as many papers as we have on hand. Okay, so that's the first step, our bright blue Post-it note. The second step is the light blue Post-it note. So we will deliver the smaller pieces of paper or finished goods, but we have to keep track of how much the customer owes us. So on this, we're going to say, so I think we rolled an 8. So they owe us $8 for every piece. And if we sold them 6 pieces, they'd owe us $48, but they don't pay us until 2 times down the road. So we deliver immediately, but they pay us in time plus 2. So if we sold them 6 pieces this round, they would owe us in the third round. And so I'm going to stick that there indicating how much they owe us in the third round. So when those 2 times away come up, then the customer will pay us. And so we will denote that on this yellow sheet of sticky note, and that's their payment to us, a check from the customer. So then we said we would roll the dice to see how much it would cost us to pay for the raw materials. So when that happens, we take the pink Post-it note. So if we decide how much we're going to sell, we denote that on this pink piece of paper, and we're going to put it on the suppliers matrix. And this is T1. So we would put on T1 how many pieces of raw material we're buying. So again, this would be a purchase order. Okay, so we would denote that on there. But then we take delivery of those raw materials the next round. So if we're due to take deliveries of raw material, we would take that delivery of raw material the next round, and we would have to pay for that raw material. So we're going to denote that on the green Post-it note. So if we buy 2 sheets of raw material and they cost $3, we would denote that on here, and we would put that for the next round. So that's when we're going to pay for it, and that's when we will take delivery of it. Okay, so again, you would have a few minutes to prepare. I'm doing this for you, but this denotes the whole process. What each sticky note stands for. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. So I would advise you to pause the video now, and I want to use 2 sheets of paper, 2 sheets of an 11.5 by 8 pieces of paper to establish a method for documenting the information needed. So again, what do you need to write down, and how are you going to keep track of things so that you can show what your profit is, how much product you currently have in stock, how much do you owe your supplier, and how much do our customers owe us. So again, pause this and figure out how you're going to keep records to be able to answer this. Okay, so once you have started this video up again, it's now time for turn 1. So we need to decide, we're going to roll the dice. Okay, and I came up with a 7. Okay, so that's how much the customers are willing to pay us for the smaller squares of paper. So we start off with, like we said, we start off with 1 sheet of raw material. So we need to cut that up. This is our production process. So we can cut that up into 6 smaller squares. I have 6 pieces of finished goods to sell to the customer, and we need to decide how much we're going to sell of that. So let's decide, we have 6, let's decide we're going to deliver 4. So we're delivering 4 pieces of material, finished goods to our customer. So I'm going to deliver them into here, okay? And again, we were delivering them, there's $7 each. Okay, so we need to, so we delivered, as we said, 6 pieces. So to our customer, in round 1, right, we're delivering 6 pieces. That's our blue sheet. Now, on our light blue, we're going to indicate when we're going to get paid. So in 2 turns down the road, we're going to get paid for this. So we sold 6 sheets at $7 each, right? It's $42 is what is owed to us from our customer 2 road turns away. So 1, 2. Okay. So you can see that. Okay. So we put that on our light blue one. So that's to our customer. Now we have to decide what is our raw material costing. So we roll 1 dice and it's a 4. So to buy a sheet of material, it costs $4, and we can buy up to 2 sheets. So as this is the beginning of the round, let's buy 2 sheets of raw material. Okay, buying 2 sheets, but we need a purchase order to do that. So we need to put that on our pink. We're buying 2 sheets. This is our purchase order. So we're buying 2 sheets in round 1. Okay, that's our purchase order. Okay. But what we also have to do is, so we have to, what our, we owe the customer. So we're going to put on our green sheet that again, we are buying 2 sheets at $4 each, and we pay for it 1 round away. So it'll be $8 is what we have to pay next round. So I'm going to put that with the pair supplier in round 2, $8. Okay. And we don't get delivery until next round as well. Okay, so that's round 1 done. So we have sold and bought after round 1. So after round 1, what was our profit in round 1? So we sold 4 pieces, right? We sold 4 pieces. Sorry, yes. It's supposed to be 4, right? We sold 4 pieces at $28. And how much did we buy that sheet for? Okay, so think about that. Are you able to tell me what your profit is in round 1? Okay, so let's go to round 2. So round 2, we're going to throw the dice. Okay, and this is a 10. Okay, so we have a 10. And how much do we want to sell? So we only have 2 sheets because we can't take delivery of our new raw material yet. So we have 2 sheets. So let's decide on our bright blue sheet, let's sell 2. So again, to our customer, we're going to sell 2. So this is the sales order. In round 2, we're selling 2. And then on the light blue sheet, we need to indicate we're selling 2 at $10 each. So that's $20, right? So we will get paid by our customer. So this is our invoice to the customer. We will get paid $20 in 2 rounds later. So that's round 4. And we can't take payment yet for anything. Okay, so let's figure out how much we can buy things for. Oh, so $5. So we can buy our raw material for $5. So we need to decide how much we are going to buy this round. So again, we need a purchase order. So let's say we can buy 2 sheets. So that's all we're allowed to buy. So we will buy 2 sheets. This is our purchase order to our customer. We're in round 2, so we'll put that in round 2. Okay. But then we have to, how much the supplier is going to invoice us. So we're buying 2 sheets at $5 each, equals $10. So next turn, we're going to have to pay our supplier $10, and we take delivery of the goods and in next round. So we are in round 2. So that means we have to pay our supplier. So the purple sticky, that is our payment, our check to our supplier. So we're going to pay. Okay, so I'm going to keep track of how much we're paying with this. And we had $10 to start with. So we had $10 to start with. We've now paid $8. Okay. And we also get to take delivery of what we ordered last round, which was our 2 sheets. Okay, so here's our 2 sheets of material. Okay, so that's the end of round 2. So we've done some buying and selling. We can also, in round 2, we took delivery of 2 sheets of raw material. We also need to make our products. So let's cut up these 2 sheets into smaller 6 pieces. So that's 12 smaller pieces of our finished goods. And we have 2 still sitting here as well. Oh, sorry, those 2 we forgot to deliver at the beginning. So those 2 go to our customer. Okay, so that's the end of round 2. And we can see what we've delivered, made, sold, collected money for. Okay, so let's go on to the next round. So I want you to think of, from your record keeping tasks, can you figure out how much you owe your suppliers at this point in time? So is your record keeping sufficient to be able to tell us how much we owe our suppliers? Okay, so we are in round 3. So let's see how much we can, the selling price is for our smaller piece of paper. So it is 5. So this round we are selling to our customer for 5. So we need to say how much we are going to sell. So we have 12 sheets. How many are we going to sell this time? So 0, 4, 8, or 12. Let's say 8. Let's keep a bit of inventory on hand. So in round 3, we're going to sell 8 pieces to our customer. Okay, and we need to deliver right away. So we are going to deliver our 8 pieces of finished goods to our customer right away. Okay. So we also need to record on our light blue pieces the quantity sold and the price and amount payable. So we said they're $5 each, and we just sold 8. So that's $40 is what's going to be owed to us from our customer 2 times down the road. So we're 2, 3. So that's what's owed to us now. Okay. The other thing is we can finally take a receipt of payment from our customer for anything we delivered to them 2 times ago. So that's this amount. So from time 3, we're owed $28. So I'm just going to put that here so we can see. So at this point in time, we've made $38 and we've paid $8. Okay, so now we need to see how much things cost to buy. So I'm going to roll one dice. So it's a 4. Okay, so how many sheets of paper are we going to buy this time? So let's say 2. So again, we need to give a purchase order to our supplier. So let's buy 2 sheets of paper. And we are in turn 3. So on our supplier matrix, I am going to put that we bought 2 pieces of material. Okay, so we bought them. We don't take delivery of them yet, and we don't pay for them yet. So we bought 2 times $4. So that costs $8. So I'm going to put that. We have to make payment next time. So T4. Okay. So, but also at T3, we need to receive the goods. So we ordered 2 sheets of paper last time. So we take delivery of them this time. And we also have to pay for them. So here is our check. It's our purple piece. And I'm going to put that here. And we are going to pay $10 for that 2 sheets of paper. Okay. And then we have to convert those raw materials, those 2 sheets of paper, into our finished goods. So our 6 smaller sheets. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so there's our finished goods that are sitting there. Okay, so now we can go on to round 3, or round 4. So before we go on to round 4, does your record keeping system, can it tell you how much you owe your customers? What are your accounts payable? So take a minute and look at your record keeping and let me know if you can figure that out. Okay, let's go to round 4. We're going to roll the dice. Okay, it's a 7. So this is what the customer is willing to pay in this round, is a 7. Okay, so we need to decide how much we're going to sell of our finished goods. So do you know how much we have on hand and how much we can sell? So let's say 12 this time. So here's our sales order from our customer for 12 pieces of smaller paper. So again, we have to invoice our customer. So we decide we're going to sell 12, and the dice told us they're worth $7. So that's $84. It's what is owed to us 2 times down the road by our customer. So we're times 4, so we're times 6. That's what's owed to us. Okay. And can we take payment for delivery from the customer in this time? So we are in time 4. Yes, 2 times ago, we delivered 2. So we can take payment for that delivery. So I'm just going to take that off and move that over here. Okay, so we've done our invoicing, we've taken delivery, we've made our payments. So now it's time to see how much we can buy a raw material for. It's a 1. So how many are we going to order at once? So let's order 2 sheets of paper. Okay, so we'll give our supplier a purchase order for 2 sheets of paper, and we are in turn 4. Okay, and then the supplier has to invoice us. So $1 for a sheet for 2. So we owe, and we'll take delivery of 2 sheets of paper 2 times or next time. So time 5. So the other thing we see is we can take delivery of 2 sheets of paper as well this time, because last time we ordered 2 sheets. Okay, and we also have to pay. So we are going to pay for those 2 sheets that we ordered last time. So here's our check. Okay, so that's the end of turn 4. So we've done all our buying and selling and paying and collecting. So at this point in time, do you know how much inventory you have on hand? So again, we received 2 sheets of raw material. So again, we do need to convert that raw material to finished goods. So I am the production team, and I'm cutting these 2 sheets of paper, each into 6 pieces. Again, I've taken those raw materials and 2 sheets of paper and cut them into 6 pieces each. So here's another 12 sheets added to the ones we already have on hand. Okay, so do you have any idea how much inventory is on hand without counting it? So let's go to round 5. I'm going to shake the dice. And in round 5, we can sell to our customer for $8. Okay, so here's our purchase or our sales order. How much do you think we should sell to the customers? 4, 8, or 12? I'm going to put 12. Okay. So there's our purchase order to our customer. So I'm going to, our sales order from our customer, and we are into round 5, turn 5. Okay. So the other thing is on our light piece of paper, we have to write an invoice. So in 2 turns, our customer will have to pay for it. And we also have to deliver those 12 pieces. Okay, so there we are delivering our 12 pieces that we said we would. Okay, and we need to write our invoice. So in 2 turns, the customer will pay for us. So we said we were doing 12 and they were worth $8 each. So in 2 rounds, the customer owes us $96. So there's our invoice. Okay. And we're in round 5. So do we have any payments due? Yes. Our customer owes us $40 for the deliveries we made 2 rounds ago. So let's take that money. Okay. So now let's see how much we can buy this round. Or we're buying it for $6. Okay. So how many sheets do we want to buy this time? $6 is as high as it goes. So let's just say we're just going to buy maybe 1 sheet this time. So 1 sheet. So there's our purchase order to our supplier. Round 5, we're just going to buy 1. Okay. We're going to buy 1. And then we can, we need to be invoiced. So if we're going to, so 1 sheet at $6 each is what we're going to have to pay next round, the invoice. So there's the invoice from our supplier. And that's when we can also take delivery. Okay. So now we need to pay for anything that we bought last round. So we're going to write a check. And we need to pay from last round $2. And we need to take delivery of those 2 sheets. So let's take delivery of these 2 sheets of raw material. And again, we need to convert these raw materials. So I'm now production. And I'm going to convert these 2 sheets of raw material into finished goods. So I'm cutting them up into 6 pieces each. Okay, so adding these finished goods to our ones we already have in stock. Okay. So we've paid, we've been paid, we've delivered, everything's good for round 5. Okay. So what I want you to be able to do now is we are now at the end of round 5. Can you determine how much profit you've made to date? How many products you currently have in stock? So how much finished goods? How much do you owe your suppliers? And how much does your customer owe you? So can you answer that at this point in time? Or is your record keeping being able to let you determine what that is? So at this point in the class, I would have students take a moment and review their processes and see if there's any way they can improve what they're doing. And then the next 5 rounds, I wouldn't let them speak. But again, because I am doing all these processes for you, you can't do that. But what you might want to do is pause this video at this time and reorganize your record keeping if need be. If you're not able to answer those questions, maybe figure out a better way for your record keeping. Okay, so let's move on to round 6. If you've paused it and reorganized your record keeping, great. So we are going to start where we have before. We're going to roll the dice to see how much the customer is willing to pay. And it's an 8. Okay, the customer is willing to pay $8. And how much do we want to deliver to sell to them? 0, 4, 8, or 12? Okay. Let's put 12. We're going to deliver to our customer in round 6. 12 finished goods. And right away. Okay, so here's our 12 finished goods, a smaller square, and we are going to deliver them to our customer. Okay, so they've ordered them and we've delivered. Okay, so now what we want to do on our light blue is we need to do an invoice. So we sold 12 pieces at $8 each, and in 2 times from now they will pay. They'll pay us. So in round 8 is when they'll pay us. Okay. And then we can take payment for anything we delivered 2 rounds ago. So we're owed $84 for deliveries we made 2 rounds ago. So there is our check. This is our check for $84. Let's put that over here. Okay, so we've taken delivery, we've received payment. Okay, so now let's see what we have to pay for our raw material. So I'll roll the dice and it's a 2. Great, $2. So we need to decide how much we're going to buy at once. So this is on the pink sheet. So it's only $2, so let's buy 2. So here's our purchase order of 2 to our supplier. So I'm going to put this on our supplier matrix. We're in turn 6. We're ordering 2 pieces of raw material. Okay, so then the supplier is going to invoice us. So next time they will deliver us 2 sheets. So 2 sheets at $2 each. Be $4 is what we owe them next time. Okay, so there's the invoice from our supplier. And can we take delivery? Yes, last time we ordered, we ordered 1 sheet. So we can take delivery of that 1 sheet. We'll do that. And we have to pay for that 1 sheet. Okay, so we've done all the actions for round 6. Okay, but again, we took delivery of 1 sheet. We need to produce our finished goods. So let's cut that 1 sheet up into 6 pieces. Okay, there's our production process and our finished goods. Okay, let's go on to round 7. So same thing as always. Let's roll the dice to see what the customer is willing to pay. And it's a 9. Okay, so we need to decide how much are we going to sell. So again, let's sell how much we're going to sell. So let's say 12. $9 is pretty good. So there's our sales order from our customer. So let's put that, we're around 7. So we'll put that here, around 7, 12 pieces. Okay, and we will make delivery. So it's immediate delivery. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's our 12 pieces of finished good that we are delivering to our customer. Okay, so the other thing is we need to, on the light piece of paper, right? So we delivered 12 at $9 each. Right? So $108 is what will be owed to us 2 times down the road. So there's the invoice for $108 that our customer owes us in turn 9. Okay. And we can also receive payment for anything that we delivered 2 times ago. So in turn 5, we delivered 12 pieces at $8 each. So we are owed $96. Here's our check, our payment for $96. Okay, so that is the customer side. So now let's roll the dice. 1. So that's what we're going to pay for our raw material. So we need to decide how many sheets. Well, that's pretty cheap. So let's buy 2 sheets. So there's our purchase order to our customer for 2 sheets. Okay. And then we have to invoice. So next time we're going to have to pay $1 for 2 sheets. So $2, and we will take delivery. So there's our invoice from our supplier that we will have to pay next time. Okay, so we can take delivery of what we ordered last time. So last time we ordered 2 sheets of raw material. So here they are, and we have to pay. So here is our check for $4 that we owe. We owe our supplier $4. Okay. And we're taking delivery of what we ordered last time. And again, we have to do our production run. So let's convert our raw material into finished goods. I'm cutting each sheet up into 6 pieces of paper. So there's now 12 additional finished goods to put into inventory with finished goods we had before. Okay, so I think we've done all our buying and selling and collecting and payments for this round. So again, are you able to determine how much we have in inventory? How much do you owe your suppliers? How much do your customers owe you? How much money are you making? So now let's go into round 8. So again, start the way we always have. 4. So that's what our customers are willing to pay is $4. So we need to decide how much we're going to sell. So 4 isn't a lot. So maybe we are going to decide we're only going to maybe sell 8 this time. So we will buy or sell 8. So there's our sales order from our customer. We're around 8. So we are selling 8 and we can deliver them right away. So counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, we're going to deliver them to our customer. So we have delivered them. Now we need to invoice. So we did 8 pieces at $4, right? So they're gonna have to pay us in 2 turns down the road. Okay. And we can also collect payment for deliveries from 2 times ago. So 2 times ago, we delivered 12 sheets. So here's our check for $8.
Yeah, I'm putting this on my reference wall.
Okay, so I think we're good there. And so now we need to roll the dice to see how much the supplier's price is. Oh, 6. Okay. So how much are we going to buy? Remember, we only have 10 rounds. So even though it's $6, let's buy, we can buy up to 2 sheets. Let's buy 2 sheets. So there's our purchase order to our supplier. Okay, 2. Okay. Then we have to, our supplier will invoice us. So 2 sheets at $6 is what we're going to have to pay next turn. So let's put that there. And then the other thing is we can take delivery of what we ordered last time. So last time we ordered 1 sheet of paper. So we're taking delivery of that and we have to pay for that 1 sheet. So here is our check. And you can see we have to pay $2 from last time. Okay, so we have bought and sold everything. We need to do our production run that we bought last time. We bought 1 sheet of paper. And let's convert that 1 sheet into 6. There we go, 6 more pieces to add to our existing inventory. Okay, so that is round 8. So now the last 2 turns, we are not going to buy anything. We're only selling. So hopefully you have a good idea as to what you have on inventory, and we will determine the customer's market price. Okay, it's a 6. So how much are we going to sell? So let's sell 12. So there is our sales order from our customer for 12 pieces. Okay, and we deliver it right away. So I'll count out 12 sheets of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we will deliver that to our customer. Okay, and then we have to invoice them. So in 2 turns down the road, they will owe us, right? So $6 times 12. Okay, so there's our invoice to our customer. And then we also get to collect payment for what we delivered 2 times ago. So we're owed $108 from our customer. So there's their payment. This is their check for $108. Okay, so I think we have delivered and sold, well, everything that we need to in round 8. So now let's move on to round 9. Again, okay, we're only selling, so let's roll the dice. And the customer She's paying $7. So how much are we going to sell? And you know how much do you have on inventory? So let's assume we have 12 sheets left. Okay, so there is the sales order from our customer. Okay, and we need to deliver right away. So that's the 10, we have 12 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we only have 8 left. So we're going to have to update our sales order. So there's 8. So update our sales order to 8. And we have to invoice them. So 8 pieces of paper at $7 each equals 56. There's our invoice. 2 times down the road. Okay, and then we can take payment from orders from 2 times ago. So 2 times ago, they ordered 8 at $4 each. So there's our payment of $32. Okay, so we've done everything. That's the end of the game. We're out of inventory. We've made all our payments. Obviously, if you would keep going, the customer still owes us money for 2 times down the road. But what you need to do now is you need to draw the business process. Okay, so you're going to do business process modeling. So in class, we did it together, but if you weren't in class, you have to draw what happened. So I want you to use stick figures to show the business process, representing everything: buying, selling, making, paying, being paid, all those sorts of things. So if you can draw it, and you can do it any way you want, you can do it on a piece of paper, take a picture and submit it, or if you wanted to do it electronically, that's fine. But please submit it into the submission folder called Week 2 module, Drawing a Business Process of the Paper Game. Okay. You also need to participate in the discussion. And in the discussion, I want you to put how much inventory you have on hand, how much is owed by the customers, how much is owed to you, and what profit you made. Okay, so make sure you put that, as well as answering these discussion questions. Okay, so make sure you put that in the discussion and with the due dates that are required. So hopefully this helps you understand the complexity of business processes and record keeping. And again, the learning outcomes should be discussed in our discussion board.